Hi, it's Dwyer, gamblersadvisory.com, dwyervip.com, Dwyer Boxing and Sports News on Roku. Remember, the opinion you should follow should be your own. Just consider this video to be a second opinion from a complete stranger online. Now, this fall, 2015, there are three fights that I thought the casino just got wrong. Three underdogs I consider to be live underdogs, or considered to be live underdogs. Right? Let's name the three fights. The Timothy Bradley, Brandon Rios fight, which happened last night. The Vladimir Klitschko, Tyson Fury fight. And the Saul Alvarez, Miguel Cotto fight. Right? I expected underdogs to win all three of those fights. Let's just say one of those fights has taken place and the casino's up on me 1-0. Right? Let me take this opportunity to applaud Timothy Bradley. Let me take this opportunity to applaud Teddy Atlas. I was dead wrong on this fight. You know, one of the greatest fighters ever. In fact, the guy who, former heavyweight champion Jack Dempsey, refused to fight and would later say he thought he was the best fighter ever, was Sam Langford. Right? Look him up. Look at his ring rating. One of the hardest punchers in history. The Boston Tar Baby. Right? That's what they called him in a politically incorrect era. And he had a saying. He said, kill the body and the head will soon die. Now, in the pre-fight video, right, even my cat's upset with my performance here. In the pre-fight video, I said that I thought Brandon Rios' chin was one of the best in boxing. Right? Looking at Timothy Bradley, looking at a below 50% KO ratio, looking at his recent fights, right? Looking at some of the guys who went the distance against him recently, right? Jesse Vargas. In the Ruslan Provodnikov fight, Provodnikov's never in danger of getting knocked out. Right? I thought there's no way against Rios' beard that Timothy Bradley would have a chance to take him out, to knock him out. You know what? I completely did not think about. I literally missed the fact that you don't have to hit a guy in the head to knock him out. Right? Bradley gets the KO here based on two crisp Sam Langford-esque body shots. Right? He knocks Rios down off a body shot. Rios gets off the canvas. Tony Weeks, the referee, says, I'm going to give you a chance. And then, of course, what happens is Timothy Bradley races across the ring in a fight he's dominating and closes the show with another body shot. Right? I still believe Rios has a great chin. The chin's only one way to get a knockout. I didn't think about that before the fight. My bad, my loss here. I don't even want to look at my bank account right now. Right, let me congratulate Timothy Bradley, much more aggressive than I thought he would be. Right, maybe that's trainer related, I don't know. But Bradley comes out early and is on his front foot. Very aggressive, too fast, not just in terms of hand speed, but in terms of foot speed for Brandon Rios. Right, Rios seemed to have a problem making weight, seemed to be dead in the water. After the fight, Rios said that he thought he was going to retire. People need to realize Brandon Rios is only 29 years old. Right? Only 29 years old. As you look at Brandon Rios, and I understand he's been in wars, understand this man is still in his prime. But he just couldn't handle the hand speed, and what surprised me was how much the body shots bothered him. What I want you to do is to look at the last exchanges, right? You're going to notice that after the first knockdown, when Timothy Bradley races across the ring, Rios is not even covering up his head. In other words, Rios is so blown away by the body attack that Rios has his hands down here. Right? In other words, he's so hurt to the body, he's prepared to get hit in the head. That's how bad it is. And Bradley comes over and still finds a way to hit him in the body to end this fight. So let me say this. Great performance by Timothy Bradley. The sky, quite frankly, is the limit for him. Right? Literally. If I'm Bradley, I would really think about fighting guys who won't be able to handle his foot speed and his level of aggression. Right? I believe right now a lot of flat-footed guys are getting a lot of pub. Keith Thurman, Saul Alvarez. Right? I, quite frankly, don't see how they'd be able to withstand this version of Timothy Bradley, simply because when you move as well as Bradley does, and when you're as fast as Bradley is, and when you're as skilled as Bradley is, understand, this isn't the Timothy Bradley who is shooting a lot of jabs like he did in the Manny Pacquiao fight. This is Timothy Bradley leading with power shots, throwing hooks over Brandon Rios' guard, pivoting, then throwing big-time body punches. Right? Bradley's simply too fast for many of the people around him. If I were Bradley, I would really think, since I have had belts at 140, at 147, if I'm Bradley, I'd push myself a little bit. Right? And I would try to put myself in line if he doesn't get the Manny Pacquiao fight. And I understand that fight would be the third fight, and I'm sure Bradley's the kind of competitor who wants to avenge his loss in the second fight. Right? If he doesn't get the Manny Pacquiao fight, if I'm him, I would think about 154. Right? Don't get too fooled by size. Look at Bradley's past. You're going to find out Bradley used to weigh more than he weighs now. Look at Bradley's body. He's in tip-top condition. Bradley's hand speed in this fight looked faster than it looked in several recent fights. Right? Teddy Atlas has him being a little bit more aggressive now. Right? It's Bradley who's the aggressor in round one, not Brandon Rios. Right? It's Bradley who's on his front foot in the last round, not Brandon Rios. Right? Big time performance. Big time fighter. Right? Bradley wants to put himself in the Hall of Fame. Tim, I got news for you. You're already there. Right? Now I believe what Bradley needs to do is to realize that his greatest strength, right, is his ability to come in low, fight quickly, move around the ring, be skilled, right, be a switch, right? If he figures that out, then why not venture north, right? I think a Bradley Cotto fight would be fascinating. I don't know who wins that fight. I think a Bradley Canelo fight would be fascinating. I think there are a host of guys against whom Bradley would likely be the underdog in Vegas, but who Bradley would have a good chance of beating. So, let me be clear here. I was wrong on this fight. I never thought, never, that Timothy Bradley remotely had a chance at a stoppage. And he got one against a guy who I still believe is one of the best chins in boxing. Right? Bradley decided to take out his body, and he did so masterfully. To that, let me just say, bravo. The casino beat me on this one. Let me hear from you. Leave your comments for me here online. Visit us at gamblersadvisory.com. Now I'm going to go feed my cat. Thanks for stopping by.